What is up, you guys? My name is Madison. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Please excuse the fact that I'm not wearing any makeup. I am not allowed to wear makeup right now with the medication I'm taking. I am incredibly sick. I've tried to film so many videos this week, but it's just so many voice cracks all in one video. And today is the first day that I've felt good enough to film, and I will probably bulk film today. So if you see this hoodie in this space in my next couple of videos, don't mind that. Yeah. Anyway, I have decided that I'm not gonna do like the books that I'm like in the middle of in this video, because those typically take up like a bulk of the video. But then I realized, like, when I was going through it, that I only really have 4 books. So it's gonna be kind of a short video, but I kind of want to do a little like reading vlog trying to get through some of the books I'm in the middle of, and I think that would be pretty helpful, because I really want a shelf of books that I've read and books that I can like give my opinions on and things like that. I've also stopped kind of like going after books that are super popular online. Like, obviously, like, I still am gonna read like certain books that are big because everyone knows about them and they get gifted to me, or maybe I just find them interesting. But I definitely want to have a shelf of books that I want to read and the internet doesn't want me to read, because I think that it made my book buying addiction so bad. Like, I already have a shopping addiction. I didn't need to add books to that. Like, I did not need to add books to that at all. So that's actually helps me a lot. I actually read the backs of books now. Yeah. Anyway, so on to the books. First, I have The Kingdom of Back by Marie Lu. I am on a mission to read all of the Marie Lu books. I still need to, acquire all of the Marie Lu books, but she has not had less than a 4.75 on my radar. But this is about Mozart's sister, Nannerl, and she just wants to be known. She wants to be remembered. She's constantly lived in her brother's shadow for years, and so I can't really like make out what's on the back. It kind of seems like a deal with the devil kind of like plot, which I'm not necessarily a fan of. Like, I really didn't like the Addie LaRue thing. I don't like the deal with the devil kind of thing, but as someone who knows way too much about Mozart, because that's my best friend's favorite composer, I think this would be a really interesting book, especially now, to read. And I also think that this is supposed to be like super empowering girl boss. And this book, I believe it came out like around the time I started like looking at like booktube and bookstagram and just everything like that. So like I remember some of those like some of the critiques, but I also remember like what people really liked about it, and I think that I'm going to really enjoy this. And I'm pretty sure it's one of 2 standalones that she has. I'm not entirely sure, because I know that the Batman one is also a standalone. She only has 2 standalones as of right now that I know of. But I'm very excited to read this, and I might do a reading vlog on it just because I am trying to read all of her books. Next, I have Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson. I finally learned what this book is about. So basically, we follow a PhD candidate named Phoebe, and she's writing her thesis or her dissertation. I don't know the difference, okay? I dropped out of college. And she's writing it on true crime, and she's also trying to deal with an annoying little nitpicky brother and the death of a father that was not in her life. But then she's also fully convinced that her new neighbor is a serial killer, a mass killer, something of the sort, and she is really afraid that he's going to do something. But she's also like, oh my god, he's totally my type. I need this man yeah, also this is like the only like lighthearted romance book that I have, and the fact that it's about true crime really is telling me about how I am in Pennsylvania, because I have so many like fun, lighthearted like YA or like fade to black romances at home, and here it's like it's just wildly concerning. Actually, none of the books on my shelf actually make sense together. But that's okay. This is the only romance book that I have, and so it's just fitting that I read it in February. Yeah. Next, I have The Champions by Cara Thomas. This is the second book, I believe, to the cheerleaders. I'm not sure if they're like interconnected standalones. I'm not sure if it's a duology. Like, I have no idea. But I know it says that it's based in the same universe, because the first line on the back is 11 years ago, the cheerleaders put Sunnybrook on the map, 5 girls murdered. So I'm going to assume so. But we're basically following a girl who works for the newspaper, and she hates football, right? Like I think she works for the high school newspaper, to be specific. So just to be clear. But then there's like a huge party and a huge poisoning, and someone ends up dead, or multiple people end up dead. I'm not entirely sure. But it was a football player, and the main character, Hadley, is trying to figure out what happened, when it happened, where it happened, who done it. Yeah. Every time I say who done it, I think of that like Disney Channel like slogan. But yeah, apparently they're the Tigers, because I keep talking about tigers. Yeah. Last book I have is Once a Queen by Sarah Arthur. I really, really want to read this book. First of all, I love the cover, and I picked it up kind of on a whim because I thought it was in the wrong place, but it was not. So this is a book about like a house with personality, which is my favorite trope. So think like Home Before Dark, Mexican Gothic, Haunting of Hill House, like those kinds of things. Like those are my favorite kinds of books, except I did not like Mexican Gothic. There was too much happening for my little pea brain. And I listened to the audiobook, so like it should have made even more sense. Anyway, so we're following a girl named Ava, or Eva, I'm not entirely sure. And she is spending the summer at this like mysterious old-timey manor. And it seems that like certain like hallways or certain doors can lead her into different lives. Very much like a multiverse kind of situation. And in one of the things, she ends up like becoming a queen, I believe, or she finds out that she's related to one. It also seems to be like kind of like a fairy tale story. I'm not sure if it's like a fairy tale that we know, or one that was just made up for the story, or like a childhood like dream fairy tale, just things like that. So I'm very excited to read it. I'm very excited to see what comes out of it, just things like that. So, and if you guys want a vlog for any of these books or any other book whatsoever, let me know, because I would love to give them to you. Yeah, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. All my social media will also be down below, and I will see you next time, whenever that may be. Bye!